welcome back to the world's most dangerous book show. I'm your co-host Jay, along with my co-host Key and my co-host Jules, and we are back with another book review by Jahquel. We're going to be covering Cappadonna book 3 and 3.5, where we're finishing out Big Cap's storyline. But before we get into that, man, how was y'all week, good people?
Our week was good. Thank you so much for asking, Jay. Just a little tired. As y'all know, I'm working night shift and I buried my grandfather this past weekend. So it's been a little stressful, but stay blessed. Pray for me. I'm doing okay. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Condolences,
Yes.
Thank you,
man,
Jay.
love to your family. Prayers up. Definitely keeping you guys in our thoughts. Man, it's been a busy week. Just parental duties, daddy duties. My wife and I, she was out the loop for about 2 weeks straight, just on the road,
Right.
traveling. And so I'm holding down the home for it. But man, I'm here and just trying to get my naps in, man. I'm getting old, Jay.
Yeah, man. I went to Cracker Barrel this morning, man, and I was in church slump. I was like, thank God I'm ushering today, because I was falling asleep. That steak casserole bowl was crazy, man, for real. But
That's
other
the
than
last
that,
thing you're supposed to do. You can't eat before
man,
you go because you're going to get full and sleepy.
I was super tired, man. Kids falling asleep. I was like, hey, my wife looked at me. I'm like, yo, we to blame. We could do, like, we took them there. You know what I'm saying? I had strawberry cheesecake pancakes in the morning. Like, you expect him to sit down after that? Like, he slumped, but it was all good fellowship and breakfast with the family this morning, man. So it's all good, yo. But we got some news. We got an announcement. Our co-host, definitely Jules. We love him. We know he has to be a great dad, And then please check out his Pop Talk podcast, where his sole goal is to eradicate fatherlessness. And he is tied up right now at the moment doing family duties. We definitely told y'all before, he would be in a part-time role here with us. We love having him here. So you're going to see Jules on camera with us a couple of weeks. And, just like we said yesterday, his voice is definitely missed. Key missed him yesterday because she said that. I got to put on the spot. She was like, oh, I miss Jules. And I said, see, I told you this is going to be a good fit. So she was missing you yesterday, man, but y'all still going to see him.
I was like, oh, Jules.
Yep, she definitely said that. And that was she just said it like, I was like, damn. I was like, damn, man, that's crazy. I love my boy too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so your voice was definitely missed yesterday,
absolutely,
man. So, we trying to hold it down for you, when, until you able to be free. But we understand that being a father, being in a black father, being in our son's life is very key and very important to the upbringing of our children. So we understand that, we'll hold it down here while Gib hold it down on the court. You know what I'm saying? So he can get Uncle Rod a big car and a big house.
And that part.
Or we could be on the land like Capone and them have a whole compound.
The compound.
Have a whole compound and we chilling. So I know a lot right
making an endowment to the Bookfest Club,
For real, but we happy to have you, brother. We love you, man, and we know you got
glad to be here, man. I appreciate that.
But yo, what did y'all feel? How did y'all feel about well, we'll get into that, but let's get into our rubric. We got our thriller. We got all rubrics. We had a rubric yesterday for a thriller. We got fantasy. Urban fantasy critique rubric,
fiction,
man.
Jay, not
the
urban
first
fantasy.
one, I know, urban fiction.
Fantasy.
Look, we reading so many books we done tied up over here. But our urban fiction critique rubric and questionnaire. Number 1, the plot. Obviously, did it keep fighting? Now I'm gonna ask y'all both. Did the story grab you early on, and I'm gonna read them through and take too long to get going? Did the plot feel authentic or forced? Were the twists shocking, or we seen it coming? Any parts that drag or felt like it could get better or was repeated? And did the end? We ain't even gonna go into the ending, but those 4 points. We're gonna start with the ladies first. What about you, Key?
I definitely think the plot grabbed me from the very beginning. Leaving off on Cappadonna 2.5. If y'all have been following along, then y'all know I was so sad to hear about Kincaid getting shot. And he did actually die, but they were able to bring him back to life. So that is how book 3 started. Is Kincaid is in the hospital. He's fighting for his life. And I was happy to hear that. I was sucked in right away because I didn't want Kincaid to die. I really like Kincaid. I like his character. He's super loyal. The fact that he protected Capri just made me want him to live, and he did live. So I definitely feel like it grabbed my attention. I will say, I know Jahquel has talked about how she separated her books 3 and 3.5, that the books 3 and 3.5 is technically one book. It's just split in half. But I will say 3.5 did drag for me a little bit. 3.5, there's some stuff that happens at the end of 3 going into 3.5. It's resolved very early on in the book, and then the rest of the book just kind of felt like filler. But starting at 3, it set it off. I feel like the plot was fresh. There was a few other twists, like we get to find out about Alaia's mother. There's stuff going on with her brother. There's definitely a lot of twists that I did not see coming. So I definitely think she kept it fresh. It just kind of dragged on by the time the series was over. What about y'all?
What about you, Drew?
Feel like from the second, I forget who it was who said it, Cappadonna don't play chess, he played Battleship. I just knew who was up from there, because that's like, that's so true, man. Quote, this dude, bro. He's not, he doesn't have these moves that are underwhelming. Yeah, he doesn't have underwhelming movements and tactics. His movements are just over the top, blow up your battleship, and I love it. And so, and then like Cappadonna 3, as far as the plot, it delivered on everything that I needed to deliver. It closed out the Ace situation, man, and you saw the hints. They dropped the hints leading up all throughout Cappadonna. You know what I'm saying? He's like, with my bare hands, I'm not going to even use a gun. And it delivered on that. And so I love that. 3.5 for me, I feel like it was, tension on 1,000 immediately, because, we got Raheem, having Alaia, and I'm just like,
he kidnapped her.
Blair.
Sheesh.
And Blair, yes.
Yeah, so it was
That's why I was like,
from jump. I was on the edge of my seat, and so, and then the highway shootouts delivered as always. And so I feel like the plot, I do agree with Key where it did drag at times. However, when it was action, that's what I'm here for. When it comes to Jahquel, I'm here for the action. It was stuck. Yep. Absolutely.
I do, before we get off the plot, I do like what happened with Big Mike. Not like, but I do like that Cappadonna didn't hold Big Mike accountable for what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because he was handling business. Like Cap said, you were handling business in the front. You took care of them, but nobody was to say, you're one man, bro. As mad as I am right now, I can't physically, you can't be at two places at one time. So for him to understand that and calm Big Mike down while his wife is gone, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, Cappadonna's in like full control of his emotions in that one point, because he could have went off yelling at Big Mike, not at him, but just to him. Like, what the is going? But he was just like, yo, don't worry about it, because he realized that Mike was upset, because Mike is literally the protector, and like he said, I wouldn't have sent you with my wife, Big Mike, if I didn't think you could handle it. You was outside handling business in the front, and they came through the back. So you're one man. You can't be literally. You can't do it. So, we're going to get it together. Go get yourself cleaned up. Come back to the warehouse. You know what I'm saying? We're going to regroup and we're going to reconnect and we're going to see what's what. So I really did like that part, that he didn't really hold Big Mike accountable. The twist, that was a crazy twist for me. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to meet Tookie, at the house, you know what I'm saying, with Blair. And that was like another caveat on top of everything, so it was just like a lot of twists that came in at that particular time that I didn't feel like that. I felt like the ending of the middle of book 3.5 did drag a little bit after all of the people that needed to be gotten. I just felt like, but for me, it didn't drag in a bad way. It dragged like, all right, let's get our life back on the road. And now let's see Cap in a different light kind of do things. And then there was other people, Amy, Capella, they was having their moments and everything like that. So I think it was like a fitting, now we're going to break down everything, because now all roads lead to Capri. So for me, that was it. But for characters, again, we talked about this before, about the main characters being believable. But I ask y'all these questions. This is number 2 in the rubric, right? Were the main characters believable? Did they grow or stay stuck in the whole book? Like, did they grow? Did their character grow? Did their decisions make sense? And who was your favorite character and who annoyed you, like we did before? And any characters you want to see more of? We can start with Jules on this one.
Like, Cappadonna finally reached final boss level in this. Like, for real.
I was going there. He took my point. Go ahead.
It didn't feel cartoonish.
Nope.
It felt like inevitable. Like the scene in The Matrix when Neo gets it, right? And he stops the bullets and it just dropped. I just felt like he was just like Neo in The Matrix. And then Ace, I love his character, right? Like, I need a villain to really buy into and sell out to the whole being a villain thing, right? And I feel like Ace did that. His death, it was symbolic. I feel like it needed to happen because of just everything that was done. And then Jahquel's world, like, you know, the bad guys don't last, man, depending on who you see as the bad guys. But just these years of retention revolve. I love it for Amy. I love what happened to Ace as Amy. For Amy, I feel like Capri's growth is happening in Cappadonna 3 as well. Her blossoming relationship with Quamir, it felt mature. It felt, I don't really use this word, but it felt soft, right?
Mm-hmm.
In contrast to all the chaos around her. Mind you, she got shot during the high speed chase and everything like that. And so I just feel like Quamir is bringing some calm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm already reading. I'm on 3.5 in Capri. And so I already know what happens. And so I feel like going back to Cappadonna, this Cappadonna 3, you see the trajectory that Capri is on, and Capri and Quamir. Alaia, I feel like she's Alaia, right? She's providing that emotional backbone. She's showing up. She's not weak. Let's be clear, because she gets the bussing in this thing. So she's not
talking
weak.
Crazy too.
She's just not, you know, she's just not wired for just being an emotional support. She's wired for chaos as well. She's wired to get crazy as well. You think they're not the perfect match, but Cappadonna and Alaia are the perfect match.
Two peas in the pod.
I like how they brought Raheem back into the fold, right? Back into the picture.
Yes. Needed another person to kind of.
He's not really like a super villain. He is, but
mini villain.
He's a mini villain. He's the mini me, right? He's a little mini me. He's messy. He tries to be strategic, but he's nowhere near strategic as Cappadonna.
Yeah, because look at his base. He want a chain in a car. Like, that's his base.
Yeah, it's
Alaia
crazy.
told him, like, you look dirty, like, and dingy. You got a chain, a bust down chain. Like, you ain't getting no money, brokey. You know?
That part. I feel like, just to sum up my spin on the characters and my take on the characters, nobody in this universe is safe, man. Not emotionally, not physically. I feel like everyone, you know, was acceptable on this one. I mean, look what happened to Alaia, right? And so everyone was vulnerable in this particular episode. Yeah.
That's true. What about you, Key?
I feel, backpacking off of what Jules just said, that's something that I do enjoy about Jahquel's series, is that I feel like the fact that the characters do get shot and that they do face death is really realistic. Like Kincaid getting shot, actually dying, flatlining, being brought back to life. Capone was shot in this series, in Cappadonna series. Naheem, like Alaia got kidnapped. You know, Capri got hurt. I just really like that felt realistic. Kind of like what you said. This is a world that I just love that she showed the good and the bad side of it. Yes, they have a lot of money, but it comes with risk. Like, you shooting people on the highway, you're doing high speed shootouts. You're like, they're not
Bullets
invincible.
Ain't got no name.
Bullets don't have any name. And I really just felt like that was so realistic. You know, you watch action movies sometimes and you'll see the characters, like John Wick, for example, one of my favorite movies. I'm a really big fan of Keanu Reeves, but it was just, you know, John Wick is almost invincible. Like, you know, you just can never shoot him. He's blocking everything. It's not entirely realistic, but it's an action movie. That's what we expect. But I feel like with Jahquel's series, like, the characters can die. Like, they get shot. And I really thought that was realistic. I'm going to be honest. I felt like I went back and forth with Cappadonna. I loved Cappadonna 3. Like, I rated that book like infinity stars out of 5. But for me, my favorite characters were not Cappadonna and Alaia. And that probably was one of the issues that I had with Cappadonna series. I feel like the central focus was Capone and Aaron. Like, at the heart of it, they were the focus. I feel like with Cappadonna's story, I loved hearing about Capri, and I love how she set it up for Capri. But it was so heavily focused on Capri and Capella and Amy and all these other characters that I felt like at times I wanted to see more Cappadonna and Alaia. Like, I felt like they were not the main characters in their season.
But can I interject on that one? Think about Cap's character. He has a protector. So she's giving us the vantage point of him protecting the village. Capone didn't have to protect the village, right?
He kind of did. He
did, but his character and how he was not explained. Every time people talk about Cap, when they talk about him, they say he's the protector, right? His whole atmosphere is, I'm protecting my family. Even Capone and them say it himself. So I feel like he is. So when I'm not saying that I don't know what she was right, but in my eyes, I'm looking at him as the whole protector. Like, everybody was distraught when he went to jail because he was the main protector, right? So when she's giving us these vantage points, it's like, this is everything that's going on in his life. because he has a bigger lifespan, because look at it, his kid is older, right? He has more of a, you know what I'm saying, more to protect, because now you have to bring in Amy, you have to bring in their kid. He's taking on problems Capone never had to do, right? All of this because of what happened with Amy. He's beefing with another dude. Then he's still beefing with Alaia with Tweety. So his beefs is different, where Capone was just focusing on was Trilla. That was all he had. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's doing, Cappadonna's fighting many battles.
That many point of views in Capone. I feel like there were still plenty of characters. And, you know, Capone was still battling plenty of people, like Trilla, his men, some of them. They got different points of views, but Cappadonna is the protector. But I'm going to be honest, my least favorite character in the entire series was Amy. And I feel like I like Capella, but I just didn't care enough about their story. Like, Amy was like, every time it was in her point of view, I just was like, I just sincerely don't care. I get it. Jeez. Like, you know, you had your own family stuff, but it just felt like her story was not relevant enough to me for her to get that much screen time. And I just would have wanted to hear more about Alaia and Cappadonna and just their relationship. And I feel like his series was overshadowed by all these different points of view. So
all the different, I can see it
was a lot
the storylines,
of
different storylines.
Yeah. And I felt like there was a part of me
people in his book
that felt like it didn't totally make a lot of sense to me. Like, Cappadonna is beefing with
Tweety,
Zane's, Tweety, for example, over Alaia. And it was just like, Zane is dead. I don't know why this man is willing to go to war for one of 3 of his brother's wives. Why was Alaia so special? I just didn't get.
You gotta see that love at first sight, man.
It was never explained why he was willing to literally die for this girl that he literally, your brother's dead and he said, take care of my wife. You see the power that's coming behind her and you still want to go after her. Like, the fact that Cappadonna had beef with Amy's mother and ended up killing her in this series, I didn't agree with that. And that's why I said I was like up and down with Cappadonna. Y'all know how I feel. I love that he's a protector. I love how strong he is. I feel like he comes full circle. But at the same time, Alaia said something in her book when she says it to Girl. She's like, my man's hands don't discriminate when she gets kidnapped. Basically, she's saying, you know, he'll hit a man or he'll hit a woman. That's something I don't accept. You're a man putting your hands on a woman. I don't like that. I don't agree with that. Him killing Amy's mother for what? What reason did he have to kill her? She wasn't an enemy. Yeah, she was disrespectful. She didn't believe Amy, but he didn't have to kill her.
But he did it. He did it because whatever Alaia say goes. He asked Alaia outside the prison. He said, what you want to do with her?
Not Alaia's mother, Amy's mother.
Oh,
Amy's mother. But Ace knew. They knew. She knew.
They knew.
No. But they knew. But that doesn't mean that he had to kill her. For me, she was disrespectful. I didn't like that she didn't believe her daughter. But Amy wasn't fucking with her, just like she don't fuck with half her family.
She set them up because she was going to get the baby kidnapped. She had to die. She was there to set her up to get the baby so she can get the baby to the brother. She was in cahoots. You gotta die.
I see how Amy is affected by what they did moving forward in the series. And I'm gonna just speak a little bit on that. She already gave up the fact that Ace was gonna die. She told Capella, you know, I choose you over my brother. She had to know what was coming after that. But she is adrift. She doesn't talk to her family. All she has is the Delgatos. And I feel like they didn't really take into account the fact that this is Amy's mother. Like, y'all have to at least have a conversation with her. Nah. Like, she had a conversation about Ace. That made sense. But I think that there was a part of me that felt like Cappadonna was so overbearing at times. I feel like he just, he was very like, this is what I want to happen. And
I'm surprised he didn't show up to Amy's mom's funeral.
And he would just, and the thing is, even 40 comes at the end of Cappadonna 3.5 is basically telling him like, man, you didn't set the city on fire. Y'all getting too
gotta go into hiding.
Y'all gotta go into hiding. And you look at the fact that Cappadonna just got out of jail. He got out of prison for 15 years. Even Goon is like, there was a situation when, remember Goon? Anyway, I think that's another book. But he just got out of prison. He just got out of prison. And I told y'all this in all the series. He's so bold, spitting on people, leaving behind evidence, blowing people up, being loud. He doesn't think before he does stuff.
But
he really
doesn't.
You see
why though? But you see why in Capri, because you see how deep his connect with 40 goes. And I don't want to get too much away.
So that's just how I felt about Cappadonna. It was just like, I was like, okay, I get him, but then he would do other stuff where I'm like, So I was always 50-50. He was honestly my least favorite character of the whole series. I didn't like that he was not discriminate about putting his hands on women. I don't care if they beat your girl up. You're still a grown man. You don't put your hands on a woman.
Lights out,
it just, that's why I liked how Capone handled Tasha. He didn't kill her. He set her up to go to jail for life. Like, look,
my wife, lights out.
But
You're gone.
I didn't like that. And it's just, she's proud of it. My man don't discriminate. Like, basically, yeah, he'll beat your ass because you a woman, and I'm proud of that. He'll beat your ass. I don't know if my husband was like beating bitches up. That was
probably the trauma talking. That was probably the trauma talking.
Maybe it was, but I didn't like that. I told you how I feel about him being a Muslim and him being like, oh, I don't want my kids celebrating Christmas, but he doesn't acknowledge his faith any other time. And then number 3,
and he hits women.
I know we're gonna get in the argument about this, but finally, I did like this in this book. Cappadonna and Capone both realized that they weren't really being loyal to Capri. They both apologized to her.
Let's save that for themes. Let's save that for themes.
Well, that's a character thing. I'm talking about his character. That's why I didn't like him, because I felt like we get all the way to book 3 and 3.5 for him to finally see that he wasn't doing right by Capri, 1, and then 2. And then 2, he was he had a conversation with Kincaid in the hospital, basically telling them, like, you need to figure out what you're doing because you hurting my sister. I'm fucking up by being cool with you and being neutral, but you need to get it together. When Mir is looking at his sister, he's like, you better find somebody else to play with, not Capri. And yet, when do we see Cappadonna have this conversation with Naheem in the series? We don't. He never sits him down and says, look, you need to stop fucking with my sister. Leave her alone. Never. And then we find out Capone wanted to kill Naheem for what he did to Capri. He wanted him dead. You fuck with my sister, I'm gonna kill you.
We get too far.
Cappadonna.
We get too
and
far.
Cappadonna is like, that's not too far. That's his character.
That is, but that's not his character. That could fall in the theme.
It is.
That's a theme that stood out.
He's a protector, right? For everybody.
She going in, bro. I'm telling you,
going in, man.
When it comes to Naheem, he would even call Capri, you need to get it together, meddling in her business with the men that she's messing with. You need to handle it, mad at her. I never, ever seen him over the course of his book sit Naheem down and have this conversation. He never said, stop messing with my sister. Why are you going back and forth? And he's calling Capri and telling her to fix it. You never said anything to Naheem. And you're going to say something to Mir and Kincaid, but not Naheem. And to find out that Capone, who she's not even closest to, wanted him dead. And he's like, he told me not to kill you. Capri told me not to kill you. I wanted you dead.
That's not, you're going too far. That's
How
too
is
far.
That too far?
That didn't happen in 3 and 3.5.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. That happened when they was riding in Capri.
No, that happened when they were on their way to get Alaia when she was getting kidnapped. That was in there.
In Capri, I'm telling you.
But
what I was saying is that's like a theme right there. That's like love, trauma, loyalty, hustle, betrayal, redemption. That's why I said where you was going. You didn't stay. You got to stay in character. That wasn't character.
My least character is Cappadonna. I feel like he had a conflicting character. He wasn't consistent, and I understood him better, but I still didn't like him. I liked Alaia. I love how down bad she was. I love how they matched each other crazy. I love how she was a submissive wife, and this book showed that submitting it's an honor to have a woman to submit for you. Like, you have to be a powerful man in order for a woman to feel comfortable releasing her stuff to you. Like, my man will handle it. I love how Jahquel shows that submission is not a weakness. Being these wives to these powerful men, that comes with responsibility. And I feel like Alaia knew, and she was with it. She was ready. She had faith in her man. And I really love that. I love that Cappadonna is a family man. I love how he loves his parents' marriage and he idolizes that. And yeah, I didn't like him. I started not to like Capella. I didn't like that Amy didn't have a mind of her own. She was just like, well, Capella wants to be a Muslim and I'm going to just do whatever he wants. I'm like, so you don't think for yourself? Like Alaia, there was a point when, remember, she wanted to have a Christmas and Cappadonna was just like, no. And she was like, oh, well, I just trust my man. No argument. I'm like, so not even a discussion. So it was just, that's why I kept feeling conflicted.
Yeah. And so I like, just real quick, just let me interject. I like how they filled out and they came back to Jaden's character. The family trip to Florida. I like seeing a family supporting.
Yes.
And he's just like this certified lover boy, man. He got everything set up there, man. I feel like soon as they go to Florida, I can see in the movie the Drake music queuing up, man. It's playing the open view of the city.
On campus.
Man, what? And so that was cool. And it was also cool to see Jaden's character Jaden and Chubbs link up, just kind of
their friendship.
Yeah,
their
friendship. Yeah,
That
that
was
brotherhood was
beautiful.
really, really dope to see, and just seeing like
Yeah, it
there's
was.
this parallel. Like, man, I was close to the streets. That's Jaden, right? Man, I did some things, but I got out of it. I went to college. And Chubbs is kind of like what could have been had
he had his father.
Had he had his father in his life, and had he had that voice in his life to go in that direction, but he was too far gone by then, you know. But
I mean, Cappadonna don't want him to do that though. I think I love
facts,
that
but I
too.
feel like
Cappadonna, the
he's
whole
too far
book is like
gone.
it's too
It's
far gone.
too
But I
far
like that
gone. But
Cappadonna's very like, I don't care how
if
old
I
you
was
are.
Chubbs,
I don't
I'm
want you
like,
in the streets.
man, guess what, man? I'm at the university. If I'm Chubbs, like, I ain't gotta
Every
do
day,
this.
my cousin is
young though. They
balling
like
on
19,
campus.
18,
I'm going there and I don't
19.
even go to the school.
We the same
Literally.
age.
Yeah,
Guess
I
what?
don't
I'm
Yeah.
go to
there.
school.
We got an apartment. Guess what? We going in. Come on,
I'm
Amy.
out there. I'm gonna open up a business or something, right?
I like.
Crazy.
I
did like
also
that.
like. And lastly, I like. What is it? I like when they introduce villains for some reason, and so I feel like I look at Amy's cousin as a villain. You know, as a threat to be resolved. You know, and so I like anytime they do that, because I know the
That's
Delgato
the
is just
dude,
going to
right?
handle it.
The one that you talking about my grandmother or my aunt?
Right.
Yeah. The aunt's son. The aunt's son at the funeral.
The underdog character is Grandma's wig. Grandma
No,
is
I couldn't believe. But
him fixing that joint
he's
is
literally
nasty work,
just
bruh.
like his dad. They
Fixing
are
that
so
joint is
bold and
nasty
over the
work,
top
bruh.
with they're like, you know
Fixing
what,
that
you
joint
disrespect
to
ours. We about
nasty
to
wigs
you
and salty
imagine?
chicken.
Yes.
Nasty wigs and salty chicken. But what y'all
Oh
think
my-
about the dialogue? Not spend too much time on this one. Did y'all
I
feel
thought it
like
was
the dialogue?
repetitive.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. Like it's repetitive from I feel like what we talked about in the last book. Everybody is pretty much the same.
Cookie cutter.
Nobody really changed it. Nobody changed up. Like, because it's the same characters is not a bad thing.
Well, they kept saying the
but
same
we
things
already
over and
talked-
over. I felt
we
like
already
it was
talked
like
about, but that falls in line with their character.
yeah.
That's their dialogue. That's the way they talk. You know what I
That's the
mean?
way
You
they
can't
talk.
really stop the way they talk. So
Yeah, I feel like it's.
Go ahead,
ahead.
Joe.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, I'm
Nah.
done. That was it.
I just feel like it may be cookie cutter, but it's Jahquel's cookie cutter.
Mhm.
She owns the
Yeah.
cookie cutter. And so it's not like she's taking cookie cutter from another author or anything. It's her cookie
Yeah.
cutters. And so, but like to your point, it's still the same template, you know.
Template.
Revenge, family loyalty. I don't know how many times they're gonna beat that horse to death. These redemption attempts, just generational trauma. When you talk about Amy's story,
True story.
even everyone that's involved in Amy's story, you know, Ace, the mom, like this is generation. What happened to her mom to allow something like this? What does love look like when you've only seen war? Right? Like how can Chubb love? How can, like, even going back to like Naheem, and like I'm curious about like Quamir, and I'm reading in the Capri series and stuff like that. I just wonder what love looks like when all you've seen is war. Hence all the things that's going on with Capri, but also pregnancy. I think there's this theme that's being developed with like the pregnancies and the impact that these pregnancies are having on the parents, right? Whether it's Amy and Chubbs, whether it's Cappadonna and Alaia, or even with Capone and Aaron, right? It's just, you see the impact with like, whether it's a kid with special needs or just a regular, you know, postpartum. I'm dealing with postpartum and I don't want to have any more children. There's this underlying theme of just the way pregnancies impact families. And I was about to say black families, but I don't think they're like all the way black. They're
All the
like
way, right.
they're from the islands, and so, well, at least their history
How
is.
people feel about.
Yeah. I do
Exactly.
think pregnancy
feel like-
definitely was a big one.
I feel like there's this theme, and I'm done with this. I feel like, you know, the streets raised you, but do they ever release you?
Absolutely not.
Do they ever release you? That's from Cappadonna. Heck, that's, now I'm realizing that's from the Delgato parents on down, right?
Well, and
Tradition.
I think too that's something that I do also love about the men in the book. I think we see this a little later in the other series, but especially in this one, Capone wants to be on the straight and narrow. You know, he's the one that established their trucking business and they make millions through that. So I really do like this mindset of the men in the book, like Cappadonna valuing education, telling Amy, no, you're going back to school. You know, like Quamir, even they discuss, he has an engineering degree. Jaden going back to college. It's just the fact that I feel like these men, like you said, they were raised in the street, but they understand the value of having a legal business and making enough money to leave the streets permanently, but still always being knowledgeable about their roots and not being afraid to get their hands dirty when it's required, because that's what kind of men they are. But I do like that theory, like you said, the streets raise them, but do they release them? And I just love how Capone never wants his kids involved in that. Cappadonna, even Capella's a grown man and he's still like, you're living with me because I didn't get the chance to raise you. I want you in my house and I don't want you in the streets. I love that these are men who, look, we had to do this, but we don't want our kids to have to do this. And I just really, really love that. Going back to dialogue, and I'll say this, and there were times, I feel like in 3 and 3.5, that I feel like some of the characters lost their voices. They all started to kind of sound the same. There would be certain parts where the dialogue would be talking, it would be a bunch of characters in one room, and I couldn't tell who said what, because it wasn't like Jules said. It was like a running conversation, and I had a hard time like, wait, did Cappadonna say that or did Capella say that? Because they kind of talk the same, and I need to know who said that. There were several points in the book where I felt like I needed somebody to tell me who is speaking, because even in each person's point of view, you know, there's all these different characters talking. I feel like Cappadonna and Alaia, I love them, but that's why I just wanted less Amy and Chubbs and more Cappadonna and Alaia, because when I did see them, it was call me daddy, I'll be right back to you. Oh, I just love you so much. Thank you, Roy. You know, it was just them doing that over and over. And I liked them as a couple, but I just wanted them to have different conversations. It just got a little bit repetitive for me, and I feel like they would have had more time to expand on their relationship and show that dialogue more if we didn't have so much focus on characters that, to me, they didn't seem entirely relevant to what was going on in the story.
I guess we can skip themes. I feel like we done tackled themes and everything like that, as far as like love, loyalty, trauma, and everything like that. But what about the city, the setting? Did the city feel alive again?
I would say
being that they went to Miami, you know what I'm saying? They was able to travel
the
abroad.
Sun, the party, the club scene definitely screamed Miami to me.
A difference in party scenes going on.
It was definitely different. I love the part where Quamir sees Capri talking to somebody and
jumped over the couch.
Yes, he was like, and because I love that she got somebody that really don't play about her. They're not even together in this series. They're just kind of like friends, but
best friends.
He's best friends, but he's already like, yeah, I don't want that nigga talking to my girl. Like ready to go. I really love that. Yes. I love how we got to see them in different environments too, like the club and not just on the highway blasting people up.
What about you, Drew?
Speaking of highways, I feel like, you know, from the highway chases to the missions that they went on to the hospital scenes, family trips, it just all seems cinematic. And I feel like it was written in a way that's ready to be adapted for a TV show, for a movie.
Yes.
Even the shifts between just chaos and calm settings. You know, 1 minute I'm having a conversation, the next minute, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, exactly.
That's exactly how she said it in the book.
Man, it's funny in the audio book.
Bro. Yeah, exactly.
When the women start making onomatopoeias of these gunshots.
Yo, bruh. Like, I know. Like, pop, pop. Like all of a sudden, I'm like, damn, like, so you can't enjoy lunch in this movie. I mean, in this book, you can't enjoy lunch or dinner.
Man, you can't ride on the highways.
When he take Alaia to the laundromat, and it's like, yo, he's showing her, and it's like, they come and shoot up like, come on, bro. Come and shoot up a laundromat. Like, so it's just, you're right. You can't, and it's like, that's another highway scene. You know,
can't drive on the highways and you can't have brunch.
We need the saxophones in the back once they enter the eye. Yeah, it's all that, bro. Like,
I agree. But yeah, it hit for me. You know, as always, Jahquel does a great job with the setting.
Now, what about the writing style? Key, don't relax.
You always say that, and then you make me feel like I'm a villain for saying if there's grammar errors, there's a standard to the writing. But you say, here I go. I don't have anything to say.
Nah, you got something to say. Go ahead.
I have nothing to say.
That is hostile. That is hostile silence right there.
All I'm saying is, when we get the writing style, I'll be like, all right, Key, here we go.
No, I'm
saying, Key, here we go.
I have nothing to say.
That's baloney. You know,
I don't have anything to say. Y'all liked it. Y'all listened to it. It was good.
No, we listened to it. We didn't read it though. You the only one that read it.
It was good. It was great.
You lying.
I'm not. It was great. It was perfect.
Was there any grammar? Was there any grammar?
I don't know. I don't know because I do too much. So
not too
I'm
much,
just not gonna say nothing. No.
We didn't say you do too much. I just said, here we go. God said, Key, don't hold it down.
No, I don't have anything to say about it. I like the writing. It was good.
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
It was good.
Yeah, listen, Key is struggling over there.
Listen, I don't know. I felt like the flow, it felt smooth. I didn't feel like it felt choppy at all.
Mm-hmm.
The author's style, I mean, it works for the story. We've been doing this book for. What's this book like? This is like book 7, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is 3, and then Cap had 4, so this is literally 7 books of this. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't feel like it was easy to read. It was easy to listen to because, well, Capone wasn't easy to listen to because of Aaron's voice, but I felt like Alaia's voice was a lot easier to get through listening to it. And was it the same person that did Capone, Ju, and Cap voice too? It was
I'm not
Winston
sure.
Duke, right?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I have to look
so
at
the same person did.
I like Capri's voice.
Yeah, Capri voice is crazy. Yeah, that was the only thing I would say. People was like, "Oh, you're gonna love Capri voice." Her voice was good though. But what about Emotions? Key want to be mad and sit over there.
I feel like hold on. I feel like
nothing.
I feel like the writing style. I feel like it was smooth. I feel like it was still fast paced. Yeah. Overall, when you couple these two together, 3 and 3.5, I feel like the pace was still manageable. I feel like it was still bingeable. I feel like the action flowed cleanly. I just find it amazing. Like, do the Inferno guys, do they practice? Like,
these
do they
moves?
practice these tactical street? Like, how you know all this information about how to
spit in and the signs?
Like in the signs, and then.
Well, have you watched Sons of Anarchy? It's like a bicycle show. They're like a crew. Like, I don't want to say they practice, but they're very, very coordinated. You know what I mean?
Coordinated. Hey, listen, they're getting a lot of, because it's like they know exactly what to do when they're out there on the highway.
They're always there. Literally, they're always just they know
come
where
out
everybody
of nowhere.
is. Like, they come out the building and they're the guys are sitting on the motorcycles just waiting. Like, what's up? I like that. I really
imagine
like
your
that.
job description is to ride motorcycles, wear leather vests, and bring the smoke every day. Like,
that's it. And because you're gonna get paid for it, because the people that's above you got the businesses, so you ain't never got to want or need for anything like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel like the Arthur knew when to cut scenes before they got stale. Overall. And I feel like if I was reading this book, which I didn't, I listened to it, but it's, however you want to interpret that. But I feel like you could read 100 pages without realizing it. Easy.
Yeah.
And what did you feel about the emotional impact, Key? Were you emotionally locked in? Any moments that hit hard? Did you care about what happened to the characters?
Yeah. Like I said, I was really sad about Kincaid dying in the previous book. So in 3 and 3.5, when we know that he's going to live, that made me really, really happy because I was sad when he died.
Yeah, you text the group.
Yeah.
And that's all I could hear my whole ride to work. Like, she gonna be distraught.
She got to the next book. Just get to the next book.
She being y'all was so calm, and I'm thinking like he's dead. Why are y'all just chilling? But of course, y'all.
And why are we talking about it? Because we went straight to the next one.
And I was just like, so I was really, really happy that he wasn't dead. I think Capri's story, I've always just identified with her. So just everything she was going through, I felt emotionally attached to her. I mean, she was someone who I feel like she reminds me of myself. You do everything right. You go to college, you take care of your family, you do what you're supposed to do. And you think, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm being the wife I'm supposed to be. I'm getting my education. And when your marriage fails, it's just like, damn, like, what am I doing wrong? And then you see everybody around you so happy. Like, they found their person immediately and that was it. They clicked, Capri wants to be a mother really bad. And Naheem had a baby on her. Kincaid got Jasmine pregnant, which I take that back. Jasmine was the character that I hated most from the series. I did not like her after with
she
her
was
and
annoying as hell, man. Popping up in the hospital. I got your coffee. She said, yo, did she run and get the coffee?
I was like, I thought I was going crazy because she was like, I would never do that to Capri. I'm like, bitch, then take your ass home. You and Kincaid have not had a conversation about him. Why are you here? Yeah,
we agreed on Capri picking up Kincaid. Like, why?
She was doing too much, and I felt like even if she was just like they had a baby together, back up, because Kincaid didn't tell you that he was done with Capri, and he got on my nerves in this book too because he was like he was playing both sides of the fence. He would tell Jasmine like, "I want to have this baby, I care about you," and then Capri comes up there and he ain't saying nothing to her. He's like, "What's wrong? What you mean what's wrong? Why is this?"
And they don't get on Kincaid the way they get on Naeem. I felt like he had a baby on her too.
I'm literally saying that. I couldn't stand Kincaid.
No, not you. I'm just saying like the Jahquel universe. They don't. There's no Kincaid like this thing either.
Was alive, but then the way he did with Capri, and the thing is, I understood where he was coming from. They was both wishy-washy. They both had kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the relationship. She was his rebound. He knew that even in his point of view, he's explaining. I knew she was dipping back with Naheem, but I knew she's having difficult right now. That's her husband. He understood. So they both had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I think there was a part of him that didn't want to hurt her. Like I don't think he wanted to hurt her, but it was just just his heart was still with Jasmine. And it was just Capri even knew that, which is why she kept trying to push him away, because she's like, I want him to be happy. But just what she went through made me emotional, because she was wanting everybody around her to be happy. She's pushing Kincaid with this woman, even though she still has love for him, because she feels like you deserve your chance at a happy ending. You know, she can't be with Naheem because she can never forgive him, but she sees her brother get married in Barbados, right? She sees her another brother get married in Barbados. Then she sees, oh, Kincaid and Jasmine are having a baby, just like Naheem and Tasha had a baby.
Right up.
And she's still the one that's sitting there alone with no love. And she did everything right. Like, she's a freaking lawyer. And you still got her mom, who they have friction because she left Naheem, who cheated on her. So I just felt like her story made me really emotional. And although I said that it wasn't focused on Cappadonna and Alaia, you know, I love Capri, so I did like her moments, and just everything that she went through, her growth as we end the series and go to the next, was like, made me really, really emotional. I love how Cappadonna is with his sons. Like, remember when that scene when Chubbs is about to go tell Jasmine about Kendra, and Cappadonna shows up because he's like, I'm not going to let you do this by yourself. Just the support, the
that's the love and hate relationship she got with Cap.
But that's how I feel, because like, as a father, he's amazing. As a husband, he's amazing. As a protector, he's amazing. But there's these other qualities personally that he has, and I'm just like, makes me want to strangle him, you know? But I love the support that he has for his son. He's always been an amazing father, and just seeing that relationship. Both of you guys are amazing fathers. We were just talking about how Jules is being there for his son. Like, reading this book and just seeing, just fatherhood is so important to these men. You talked about pregnancy. They love kids. They love having kids. They love protecting their kids. Like, that is emotional for me. You know, we go up in Black households where we have single mother and single father households. And here we have men who are willing to take on the responsibility that's not even theirs. Like, you know, like Cappadonna's like, Alaia, you come with a baby, that means nothing to me. Take her on.
My daughter.
You can't have kids anymore. I'm not tripping. We're going to get a donor. It's no biggie, because I'm doing it with you. I just, that
I'm
really
not looking at you
emotional.
different. I'm not looking at you funny.
Exactly.
Listen up. This is our problem, and we're going to address it in love.
Those things I was just emotionally invested. I will say that Jahquel's writing, no matter if I don't like the characters, just how strongly I feel about Cappadonna. If I didn't care, I wouldn't feel that strongly about him, because I wouldn't give a fuck. I would just be like, whatever. It's
evoked the emotion.
She evokes the emotion, whether it be hate, distrust, anger, rage, but reading books that make you feel something, you guys. That's what it's about, you know?
That's why
I don't want to bring that book up, but that review we did yesterday,
with this book that I'm currently reading.
We felt, me and Key, we felt, it's like we
talked about that.
It was crazy, but
we critique books on the merit of the plot and this and that, but what matters too is, did the book make you feel something? Did you read it and you were getting emotional? You were getting excited? You were laughing? There were several moments that I laughed in the book when like they would say stuff, you know?
Yeah,
and
speaking of laughing.
This book, yes, please, give me a quote.
Speaking of laughing, when Cap and Alaia was getting Promise's ear pierced, and he said, that nigga, that one right there. It's like his freaky ass right there.
It's an infernal god doing it. It's an infernal god that's doing it, and you talking like that to your people?
He said his tongue split in half, Joy.
And like, he's scared. This is what scares Cap. This is what scares him. Not the shooting.
Like,
a dude with a split tongue and tattoos, that's an infernal god. He just does all that tattoos. You want to be afraid of. Like, there's moments like that, but that just shows the humanistic of the side of Jahquel's writing. Like, this is big bad man, but he's scared for his daughter, you know, and that scares him. That's the only thing that kind of put fears in him. But what did y'all think about the originality? Oh, go ahead, Ju.
Yeah, I feel like, just real quick, emotional impact for me was Ace dying. With Cap's bare hands. Even though Ace was a villain, Ace was the bad guy, he did all these horrible things. I get it, but it was heavy, right? It was heavy. I feel like Capri navigating love and, you know, pregnancies that her man keep having.
Yes, 2 out of 2
babies by other women.
To be a mother.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know what I'm saying, at the same time, you know, while she's putting in work with these guys, like bullets flying and everything, that's stressful for me. And that makes me, I hate that for Capri. Capri. I feel like Alaia dealing with the prison villain visits were like
with
crazy.
Her whack ass mom, Ronnie.
And listen,
but I mean, she slept with her own mother's husband just to prove that she could. I knew she was messed up when she tells her
Nasty
childhood.
work.
Like, I was like, you slept with your mom's husband just because I wanted to, just to prove I could. That's crazy. She was corrupt. She was twisted. Yeah. And I don't want to say she's got what's coming to her because, like I said, beat the bitch up. You know, why y'all gotta kill her? But I get it. You know, she tried to set up Alaia using, you know what I mean? And I understand Cap felt like he had to protect her. And, you know, that's Alaia's mom. So I got that. But that's why I was mad about Amy's mom, because we see later the impact that has. You know, I think the Delgatos forget some of the women do not want to be up under the men all the time. Like, I feel like Amy was in college. She had her own life. She had a whole nother man before she got with Capella, you know, and so they killed her brother, which she understood. Now her mom's dead. Now they blame her for the death of her family, which has further ostracized herself from her family. And I just don't think Cappadonna and Capella thought through how that's going to affect Amy. And like I said, Cappadonna is pig-headed. There's one point he says something like, you know, Amy needs to realize, get over trying to be close to her biological family and know that we're your family. And it was just like, how selfish of you to not even consider how she feels. It doesn't matter if y'all are her family now, y'all will protect her. I love my husband's family. That's family too. But to not have the love and care and appreciation and the relationship with my own, that's gonna sting no matter how close I get to his family because that's not my family. I want my own. And it was just the fact that he just couldn't understand that, you know?
So what about original? Well, as we come down to the last 2 points.
Oh, it was definitely original. Never read anything.
I just feel like it's always original.
It's always
same
original.
story, but it's the original. Nothing that I've read.
Nothing that I've read has touched the Delgato series. I'm telling you, nothing.
And I would think that it would have been urban fiction. Not to say that they're not great books, but I would have never thought that I would have been in a chokehold in this category and this stuff. So I felt like for me,
because we're mystery
all of this
people,
stuff is
like,
just all of this. We thrill it out. So all of this stuff is is new. It's new flavor for me. What about you, Ju?
I keep going back to Ace. You know, that just felt fresh, especially in a series.
Why do you feel like that affected you so much? You've brought that up a few times. I really want to get to the bottom of that.
Here we go.
You know, everything else was handled with bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then this is Cappadonna telling you how he's going to do it, and he actually does it, how it was executed. There was no dramatic shootout. It was just raw. It was visceral.
It was so raw. And it was over like that. It was like it just happened.
Like, I feel like that scene, like if they filmed that scene, that would be a standout in this TV series. 100%. Like, you just got to think about it. It's like you got this major villain, Ace, and then finally Cappadonna meets up, right? And
beats him to death.
Beats him, bludgeons him, right? To death. And I just thought that was the separation that makes this whole series, this whole episode of Cappadonna stands out for me. It respects street literature for me. And I feel like it was emotionally intelligent the way that she wrote it. I felt that why he was doing it for, you know, and the way that he did it, you know, mom was involved. He got the mom done. He did Ace. And this was also Amy could be in the family without looking over her shoulder. You know, like this was Amy. This is kind of like Amy's initiation into the family.
Yep.
Her brother being killed. And so I felt like that was, and then he's doing it for his son. You got to think there's a lot of pipelines like joining and you know, what is it? The confluence of a river.
It's so connected. That was something else that you realize about the series. They're all, first of all, living on this compound. And then you think Ace, who is the fiance / husband of Kendra, who is Cappadonna's baby mom and is also Amy's brother, who is also Capella's girl. And then you got Naheem's girl, Nellie, is like the sister wife of Alaia. Like it just,
I just pictured Jahquel in a dark room with like a bulletin board with the detective light, and she's like, no, this one. Yeah, let's bring it down. It's rubber bands all over the joint, and it's pictures
all over.
And it's just like, and then she come out the room
Kincaid,
and she closed the door.
Kincaid is the ex of Jasmine, who's the cousin of Capella, who you find out is, you know, the son of Cappadonna. Like it's just crazy how like every little thing connects. And I remember when we first started Capone, this
back
series.
In December.
We were getting comments and people were like, you got to pay attention to this character and this character because this means this. And I really, like you said, the emotional intelligence of her writing, just being able to foreshadow this from the first book and connect it all now. Do you know how difficult that is? And it makes sense in a way that makes sense.
There's a room somewhere in Jahquel's house that looks crazy. That has the whole spider web.
She ties this together beautifully. She does it so well. And again, this is coming from the first book in the series. All of this is connected. All of it, the Inferno gods, all of it. And it's just the intelligence to be able to just think
crazy.
Books ahead. Yeah. We were just talking about something. We did a book review yesterday. And one of the things I said was the way the book tied together, it was just a little too perfectly. I don't feel like Jahquel does that. It feels intentional. You know what I mean?
He had me giggling like a damn schoolgirl yesterday. We were just like, oh, we love the book so much. Like, yeah, bro, I can't wait, man.
We was like,
she was crazy, son.
We was just, yeah.
That was one of those books. I wish he was there, bro. I don't want to get on topic, man, but that was a good one yesterday,
I miss Jules.
And I think that's what, like, you know how you do something with your friend, and you like, damn, we missing our other friend. Like, they need to be a part of that jump.
I was like, I miss Jules. Crazy, like, it don't feel the same without you. You know, it's been me and Jay, but Jules. That's why I said I want to ask you about the Ace thing, because you are just the way you speak. You're very, very intelligent, and the way you connect to the book is like, it's very, very personal. So that's why, if you didn't mind me asking, that's why I wanted to know, because
that was like one of my favorite characters too. I like Ace, even though he's a villain. He had depth, right? He was dark, but yet there was this funny side to him. It was just crazy.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, it superseded the Alaia's headshot to her brother for me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it superseded that, because I just felt
she
like,
said, "Dad, brother, say what?"
Like, because I feel like it's easy not to be connected. But here's the thing. Like, Cappadonna had to wash that blood off his hands. Like, I feel like that was so personal. All the other killings, all the other unalivings, I guess we have to say it like that.
There's a degree of separation because you're using a gun.
Because there's distance. There's a drive-by. We're on the back of a motorcycle, shooting off, unletting off on the block. That's different from, I'm up close and personal, looking at your eyes.
Right?
But let's be clear, though. Ace wasn't crying for his life. He said, "Get it over with, pussy." Like,
no, he wasn't.
He was still talking crazy. Yeah. And he was like, "You got me." You know, like, get it over with. You ain't gonna be sitting here talking to you. You ain't gonna talk me to death. I feel
like he had to know that was coming. He was doing drugs very heavily. He was slipping. I mean, the fact that he let some coochie get him caught up, just like, oh boy.
I'm not dealing with no girl, because I don't know who got who.
But
this right here works. I'm not dealing with no female.
You are.
I need to be.
You are wily.
I need to be.
We're gonna reel you in right now.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but if I'm on the run, you know I don't know who to trust. The last thing I'm gonna be doing is just.
And you getting some chicken? Like, she wants you to bring some food? Like, come on, bro. You don't even know this girl like that, and she already. It's a line. You can't see it, but when you drugged up, you coked up, you're not thinking straight. But
I mean, he literally killed Kendra, and he regretted it. You know, he was like, if it wasn't for her, like, I was just like,
I wonder if he finished, like, while she was whatever. I would have. But yo, this is a little dead
I can't stand you.
This is getting weird about a minute.
All right. So what are we saying in our final verdict? And I got an announcement to make once he finished, because it literally just popped up on our phone. So I'll make that announcement. But what are we saying on the final verdict for Cappadonna 3 and 3.5? What bookmarks are we giving it on the rating of 1 through 5? 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. What are we giving these two books? And we could do a separate, like,
I was gonna say I gave them different.
But go ahead, Key.
Cappadonna 3, I gave Infinity Stars out of 5. Loved every single thing about it. It was like, it blew my mind. It excelled. It blew all expectations. I loved it. Cappadonna 3.5, I rated a 3.5, literally. And that's just because I kind of explained there's a lot of action in the beginning, and I did like the ending. Like, you know, everything seems to settle. We understand Capri's traveling. Alaia and Cappadonna are about to have another baby, and is pregnant. Like, you know, we see Jaden and Chubbs and Amy. We see like the conclusion to these storylines that have been building. But the pacing is what got me. It was action, and then it completely dropped and was just this the whole rest of the book. So that's why I rated it 3.5. But I really enjoyed this series, and I literally cannot wait until we get to talk about Capri.
What about you, Ju?
Feel like I'm gonna rate Cappadonna 3. I'm gonna give it, since Key is giving Infinity Stones out. I think I don't know where you found them. I think I'm gonna give it 5 beards. I'm gonna give it 5 beards. I feel like, man, this is what happens when street lit matures, right? There's so much depth. There's vulnerability here, right? People are getting shot. It's like the Delgatos aren't bulletproof, right? They're vulnerable. Yes. I just love how she took that turn in this. I feel like the character evolution is what separates, right? At first, Amy is just this dimwit come on the scene, but you're now starting to see all this. Yeah, there's a lot of depth there. I feel like they just didn't continue. Jahquel just didn't continue the story. She escalated the legacy of the Delgatos with these 2 installments.
Clip that. Escalated the legacy. I like that.
I feel like she I feel like she did. Man, if you don't like violence, if you don't like trauma in your reading, if you don't like morally gray characters like Cappadonna, right? There's a lot of conflict there. This is not your lane. This is not your cup of tea, right? This series is intense, and it's for someone who wants to see some intensity in their reading. Man, I think Michael B. Jordan energy is through this book. If they could find a way to bring him into this series.
Right, he played twins before in Sinners.
Right, bring him in, have him do it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That would be crazy, right?
Right, I literally just thought of it.
That would be crazy, though. Oh my goodness. Man, the quiet strength that comes from Alaia, as well as Aaron, this is just dope to me, man. This is really dope, man. I feel like Jahquel did a great job at escalating the Delgato legacy. Yeah, this is dope.
Got you. Me, I gave it, the book 1, I gave it 4.5. Book 3, I gave it 4.5 stars, and book 3.5, I like the way it ended. I like the way it sent it off, so I gave it 4 stars as well. I think it was fire from beginning to end. I loved it. The audio book was amazing. The Alaia voice was refreshing. Cap's voice, obviously, Cap's voice is refreshing too. Pause.
Is he Winston Dutz?
But I think it's Winston Duke.
He is an amazing audiobook narrator. I've listened to a few of his books. He's really good. Yeah,
we'll be locking in. That does complete our wrap up of Cappadonna season 2. We done did Capone season 1. We just locked in and we finished season. You was with us with Capone, right? Capone 3?
No, I wasn't.
You didn't do none of the Capones?
No, I didn't do any of the Capones. I had to do my own Capone.
So you came on with Cap.
Yeah, I did my own Capone on TikTok.
So this is the first series. That when Jules came along, we joined the group, that we finished our first series together as a trio. I'm happy. I'm lucky to have y'all. And next we got, after we close one chapter opens, because Jahquel ain't just gonna let us go like that. So we got Capri.
I'm gonna take a break out to Capri.
Yeah, of course. So when y'all hear us next time, we're gonna be talking about Capri book 1. And we're going to be jumping into her series because the job is never finished. The job is never done. It's always a cliffhanger at the end that's bringing us into the next series. And Capri got 5 books. Is it 5 books or is it?
It goes left. We're bringing it all the way right.
1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. She got like 5 books. Yeah, she got like 5 books. She got like 5 books, so we're going to lock in with that. Before we get out of here, definitely want to make an announcement. I just got the email while we were sitting up here. We have reached 400 subscribers on YouTube. Let's make some noise for that. We have just reached 400 subs on YouTube. Thank y'all. We getting there.
So amazing.
Yeah, man, we getting there each and every day. I'm seeing new people join in. I'm seeing comments and stuff like that. Thank y'all for tuning in, for rocking with us. I'm just loving what we do. We love what we do. You ain't gonna find a better 3. You ain't gonna find a better co-host, the queen. You ain't gonna find a better architect in the jewels. You know what I'm saying? You just not gonna find them. So you can replicate, you can duplicate, but you can't recreate. You know what I'm saying? So it's just us.
I see you, man. The pen game crazy.
Yeah, because we got I ain't want to announce that. I didn't want to announce that one yet, but we got some coming.
Amazing. Let's be clear, man.
Yeah, we got some heat. We got some heat coming.
Some lyrical geniuses.
Yeah, we got some heat coming for y'all. So that's pretty soon. We got some interviews and everything lined up. We got a lot coming this year.
We do.
And it's just, with us being adults, we're adulting, sometimes we might not be able to stay on schedule, but we try. Don't ever get it twisted like we don't try. Because I know people have asked me, last couple of weeks, what was the episode that did y'all drop? And I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know it was like that. I didn't know y'all loved us like that. But we just definitely appreciate the support.
We have real lives.
Definitely.
But the real lives, but we're going to make sure that we, at least come to you. We're going to be there. We're going to be here for y'all. And I'm thankful because I'm speechless in this sense of people wanting to actually listen to us talk. But anything y'all got for the people before we get out of here?
Just thank you so much for 400 subscribers. And we also really, really love when y'all engage. So make sure to like, comment, talk back to us. I think that's what makes it the most fun, not just us sitting here talking, but seeing y'all comments and joking and laughing with y'all. So please do not feel afraid to comment. We are very, very nice. We don't bite, even if you don't agree with our opinions. So we'll be nice about it. And just thank you so much for the 400 subscribers. And also let us know if there's other things that you guys want to see or other books that you guys are like, oh, you guys would love this. We are still looking for new and better book recs. You know what I mean? Like, we love to read, but we know that there's definitely series out there that we don't know about. Jahquel was one of them, and you see how obsessed we are. So just continue supporting us, and we just appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much.
What about you, Drew?
Well, I just want to say for the fellas, I want to speak to the fellas. Lean in, fellas, lean in. If you like street fiction movies, read this series.
There you go.
Capone, Cappadonna, and I think this will jumpstart your reading journey. And I just want to see more brothers, more black men in particular, picking up books, subscribing to Audible or listening to audiobooks, however you choose to listen to audiobooks. It doesn't have to be Audible. But I just want to see more men diving into this space, more black men diving into this space. And so, man, until next time.
Until next time.
Wait, Jay, you gotta do your thing. I love when you do the lasting remarks too. Me and Jules said ours. You got anything for the people, Jay?
You gotta say yours.
Right. I'm like,
you Negro stop being coons and read this book. Nah.
You ran into that one.
Nah, man.
First.
We happy. We love reading and discussing books. My co-host, she this is her thing, man. We piggybacking off of her. We read, we listen to the audiobooks, but she's a deep diver. Don't ever get it twisted. My boy here, you see, he came through with the logical thinking. That's the yin and yang right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like he going shut it down always with his philosophy, whatever that word is. You know what I'm saying? He know it
part.
with his philosophical, you know what I'm saying, intellectual thinking.
Spell it right in the transcript.
And I'm just going to be here, you know, saying the raunchy stuff and the
no, but we need that
stuff.
too, Jay. We need that. Yes.
I'm thankful, man. We get to do this every week. We get to drop an episode for the people, man. You know, shout out to the people. And wait, I gotta say it because he put it in the Spotify comments. I was like, wait, you know, we go to Spotify, you see the comments. I forgot his name, but shout out to you from the UK. Right, we appreciate you from the UK, all the way from the UK,
all the way to the UK.
Shout out to you for listening. I was like, whoa, we in the UK now. Mm-hmm. Somebody heard our podcast in the UK,
my friend.
So, you know, shout out to you. You definitely continue support. He was waiting for us every week. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for the episode to drop. Said he was happy that he found our podcast, and that's what we do, man. So that put a smile on my face, and I know we doing the right thing. But other than that, man, she's the reader. I'm just a speaker. Jules the architect. Till next time, peace.
Peace.